Yo, it's your boy Ringo. We back again with another one, fam. What I want to talk about today, interesting topic. I had a conversation with a Hebrew Israelite. Let's get into the content. So basically, the Most High made me have a conversation with another brother that's in the truth. Now, how this happens? Well, I had ordered some from Home Depot, and brother delivered stuff, and I noticed that he had fringes on his clothes, border of blue. So I knew already he was an Israelite. And I said, you know what, let me strike up a conversation. Because he was pretty much on his way to go, you know what I mean? Just doing his job, and he was heading on out. So I said, wait a minute. It's a Hebrew Israelite. Strike up a conversation. You know, have that interaction. Now, if the brother is watching, because I'm sure he's going to watch this video, I gave him the channel. You were used by the Most High, whether you believe it or not. He had assigned you to be here so we can have that talk. You know? The talk was not just for me, but it was also for you. See, with the way that I move, it's totally different from everybody else, and I'm misunderstood a lot of times because I stay out of the way and I stay to myself for a very good reason. We talked about a lot of different things. We talked about fringes, we talked about feast days, and all of that type of stuff. And I kept it a bean with the brother. You know what I mean? No sugarcoat, no lies. He was like, you know, do you keep the feast days and X, Y, and Z? It's like, no. He's like, do you wear fringes? I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it a buck. And I was explaining how when it comes to, I guess, being in the truth, for me personally, I don't like to feel any sort of pressure, as if though I gotta hurry up and go do something to kind of impress somebody or to fit in, because what it does, it makes you feel a sense of shame. Now, even though I explain it, people will get it wrong. I'm not saying that the brother did anything wrong. He ain't do anything wrong. Seems like a cool guy. You know what I mean? And again, I ain't have to strike up no conversation. I could have just kept it business. He do his delivery, keep it moving. But when I saw the border of blue, I said I had to say something. You know what I mean? So he recognized the channel from somewhere. I don't know from what. Maybe he saw the channel some other where or whatever the case is. But we had a conversation. It damn near poured. We were standing in the rain. So I was kind of trying to cut the conversation short because, you know what I'm saying, I'm probably messing up his bread and whatnot. And it is what it is. But yeah, we were talking for a minute, man, about a lot of stuff, man. And I was keeping everything truthful because, like, he was asking, like, basically what I got was you really can't judge everybody the same just because you had like experiences, like or first of all, we can't judge everybody the same, right? That's not what this is. I think that when I do my content about these issues, people think that, I guess, I hate an entire group of people because of the bad apples. That's not what it is. It's the stigma of how we look as a people on social media, and then it goes from social media into the real world. Now, based on what I got from that brother, he's more active in the community doing things of that sort. I don't know exactly which camp he's in. I don't recall asking. I didn't really want to, because, and here's the reason why I didn't want to, is because I didn't want to judge him based off of anything that I may have with a particular group or whatever the case is. And it was just a lot of stuff. I wish I would have had that whole thing recorded, but probably on my Ring camera, but I know I got footage on my cameras in front of the house, but talked about a lot of different things, man. Because I made it very clear, because he was asking, he was like, is there a particular reason why you ain't, I guess, with a particular assembly or a camp or whatever the case is? I was like, I don't trust people. Keep it a buck, you know what I mean? I don't trust nobody. And the reason being, it's not that I don't want to or I can't possibly trust people in the future or whatever the case is. It's just that when you've been through so much, it's like you don't feel it's necessary to put yourself in a situation like that, because it only produced bad fruit. And people could be cool, but I would never put myself in a camp, a church, or any sort of setting like that again, because a lot of times, and I'm not pointing out any particular person, but men in general are flawed. And a lot of times we feel we need to lord over people. And nobody's doing that to me. You know what I mean? I can interact, fellowship, hey, what's up? Boom, boom, boom. Talk about some scriptures. But other than that, being a part of a camp, never. I would never do that. Church, nope. You invite me to it, I'm not going. I just don't want to have nothing to do with religion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's toxic to me. We was having conversations about how social media is fake. It's not really real, but it is real. It is real. It's just that it's not. Let me put it like this. If you're not a content creator and you're not in that world, you will not be able to see the things that I see. Just like if that brother's active in the community, there's things that he see that I don't see. We're in two different worlds. At the same time, what is done in the world right here in the streets can affect us as a people. And I was trying to explain to the brother that on social media, the image of how we look as a people, especially in the truth, is toxic. It's really, really bad. You know what I mean? And we just had a lot of different talks, man. We was talking about, so are the camps teaching the truth? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they spreading lies? What exactly are they doing? I was like, well, everybody's teaching the truth. Everybody's speaking stuff that's true. But at the same time, there's things that I don't agree with. You know what I mean? And it's, in most cases, it's best to not even talk about it, because all it's going to do is just make arguments and cause more division. You know what I'm saying? I was telling the brother about the whole situation with the moving process to North Carolina with that other cat, and how all that drama came about. And I was keeping everything real, like, you know what I'm saying? I was telling him how we having this conversation man to man in front of each other's face. Ain't nobody gonna be trying to disrespect nobody when you in somebody's face, you know what I mean? Because we can see each other, but on social media, it's like dudes get a certain sense of confidence to talk greasy and grimy and plot and plan and do snake stuff. Whereas if they're in person, they wouldn't do that. And it's not about if you're in person, it gotta be on some Ray type stuff. What I'm saying is when men are in person, they normally conduct themselves in a mature, respectful manner. You know? But he was listening though. If anything, I don't know what camp he's from, but if anything, he was a good listener. He listened, and I just told him just be straight. Don't sugarcoat nothing if you're talking. You know what I mean? He said that I remind him of himself. Right? And I don't have a problem if anybody say stuff like that. I'm not gonna get offended. Because like I said, nobody knows me or understand the magnitude of what I do. He thought I was younger than him, but I'm actually older than him. You know? Black don't crack, you know what I mean? He actually reminded me of this other dude I know from New York. Actually looked like the dude that I know from New York. It's crazy. At first I was wondering, am I seeing a double? But yeah, the Most High, man, he sent an Israelite to the crib to deliver a message. Not just the stuff that I ordered, but to deliver a message. And I made it very clear to him. I said at times I could be very judgmental. You know what I'm saying? I could admit that. That's the difference between me and a lot of people, man. I just keep it real with the people, bro. And we was just talking about a lot of random stuff, like if I'm online waking people up with the truth. Okay, once you tell them the truth and they wake up, what do they do now? Now, in his mind, he probably felt like they probably got to go to an assembly, learn from a teacher, X, Y, and Z. I get all of that, but with me, I'm not doing that. I don't need nobody to come show me anything. At my age, I'm gonna go learn my own. Because a lot of times when you put that in somebody else's hands, they become lords and masters over you. You know what I mean? And ain't nobody doing that to me. I refuse to go back to that lifestyle where you gotta come in and you're under this person, and this person is uplifted like some king. No. No man is above me but the Most High. That's it. No man is above me. I understand rank, I understand authority if you're in military, but a lot of our people, when you give them a sense of power, they abuse it. And this happens every time, man. It's just really, really bad. But I was explaining, well, I didn't get to fully explain everything that I was talking about, but basically, if I'm teaching truth, when somebody watch my videos and they learn something, it's up to them to seek the Creator. It's up to them to seek the Most High. You know? I'm not going to tell them, hey, go to a camp, go to a church. I'm not going to tell them to do that, because I don't want them to fall into the pit. And he's right. I can't judge all camps as if though they're all bad. The thing that I'm saying is, for me, it's bad. For me, I can't be a part of none of that, because I'm gonna get annoyed, because I have disagreements with a lot of things. Some of these camps believe in tithe and money. Believe it or not, some of these camps believe in that type of stuff. They believe in tithe and money to a church. That's wickedness, you know? But they do that as a way to get money in. Then you have some camps, they don't believe in a man having more than one wife. They believe he's supposed to only have one. You got some camps that believe in speaking in tongues. I don't believe in that garbage, bro. Because when you study the scriptures, tongues was actual languages, real languages. It wasn't no gibberish nonsense. It was real life languages that people could understand. So, yeah, I was just making it very clear to him, man. Like, I hear what he's saying and whatnot, but for me, I'm on a whole different path. And I was explaining to him how me moving the way I move keeps me out of trouble. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't move the way I am right now, I'll be in jail or probably dead. You know what I mean? If I was in a camp, I'll be fighting somebody, because people, a lot of times, they piss me off, and I don't like disrespect. I just don't like it, so I have to stay away. Because if I stay around somebody and they disrespecting, something's gonna happen. So the best way to protect myself and the other person is by rolling solo. You know what I mean? Do my own thing. You know? And I think he brought up a point. He was talking about how, because when I said I don't trust people, right? He was like, well, what about like if it's a situation like a dude meet up with a woman and she got trust issues? He was using that as an example. He said, is the problem the guy that she's with, or is the problem her? Now, to answer that question, the problem would be her. At the same time, we got to balance out in context where I'm coming from, because my situation is not a dating relationship situation. My situation is not about me interacting with somebody and have trust issues in a relationship. That's not what it is. This is about biblical matters where people are not practicing what the word teach. And I don't trust the people that claim they following something, but when you look at their actions, they're not living it. You get what I mean? So it's not a thing of, you know, you're trying to get into a relationship and you have trust issues in a relationship. That's totally different. You know what I mean? What I'm looking at here is people claiming to be biblical. They claiming that they following scriptures. But when they come into adversity, when they come into certain challenges, they're not keeping or practicing what the Bible says. That's what I got an issue with. And I see too much of that. It's sick. It's like it's all over the place, man. And he just kept pointing out that, well, you know, the internet is not real, but it is real, bro. It's very real. It's more real than people think. Yes, you got trolls, you got people that will be fake, you got people up there that's acting like they in the truth, but they're not. But at the same time, it's real. You got some fake stuff, but it really is real because it affects real relationships in the real world. You know, all the drama that happened during that moving process, you know, a lot of that is from social media, but it happened in the real world. You get what I'm saying? So social media is just as real as being out in these streets. It is real. It's just that more people would want you to be more interactive in the real world. I get it. I get all of that. But for me, it's difficult to interact with people that are not keeping it a buck with you. A lot of people are fake, man. And one thing I don't like is a fake person. And being that I'm originally from New York, I could pick up on that energy right away. I don't like fake people, man. I don't like when people act a certain way, and when you come around them, it's like they switch up. I don't like that, man. I can't stand that type of stuff. People being fake for no reason. It's crazy. But yeah, we was talking about wearing fringes, and I told him I I only have one shirt with fringes. I said, I don't wear no fringes. He was like, but it's a commandment. I was like, yeah, I know. I don't do it. Keeping it a buck, right? See, the thing with me, fam, is I don't lie. A lot of people gonna be in the lake of fire because they lie. You know, the Bible teaches us not to lie. So I don't lie. I tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat to impress somebody. Like, you wear your fringes? Oh yeah, I wear my fringes. You keep the feast days? Oh yeah, I keep the feast days. You're a liar if you don't. You see what I'm saying? So might as well you just tell the truth. Because if you tell somebody that you do, they'll ask you another question. Well, when are the feast days? What kind of feast days are they? And if they ask you these questions and you can't answer, you end up looking bad. So it's best to just tell the truth and done, bro. That's why I just speak the truth. I don't sugarcoat. But I appreciate having a conversation with the brother. You know? I just didn't want him to go without me acknowledging that I know who he is. So if anything, that should be encouraging to him to know that, yo, I delivered some products to a brother and he recognized that I'm an Israelite because of my border of blue. So what that tells me, if anything, is if I were wearing fringes, other brothers that are in the truth would be able to pinpoint and see me from the crowd and be like, oh, he's in the truth. You see how that works? But now we know what that border of blue is for. And if somebody were to ask, well, why don't you wear fringes? Why don't you? Well, maybe one day I will. But one of the reasons, if I can break it down, if I'm correct, the wearing of it is to remind you of the laws of the Most High, right? Okay. What if you remember them? You see, that was happening in that time. And I think that in 2025, if we still don't know the laws, if you need something to remind you of it, that's crazy. Do you need somebody to remind you to go to work? Or do you know to go to work? Do you need somebody to remind you to take a shower? I hope not. So when I look at all of these things, yeah, I get it. Wearing it, I get it. I understand. But at the same time, I feel that as a man, you're supposed to live according to the truth to the best of your abilities and not feel pressure to do it. Because then it's not being real. You know what I mean? It's like you're being fake. That's like if I walk into a room with a bunch of brothers and everybody got on fringes, and then because they all talking about it, I go get mine the next day. Well, did I do it because I wanted to? Or did I do it because I felt the pressure to go do it because they have on theirs? That's what I'm looking at, you know? I'm not gonna do something because other people are saying to go do it. No, it should be me that go do it. If anything, they could encourage me, be like, hey, brother, this is why I would wear it. Or maybe you should look into doing this. Encourage. That, to me, works way better than pressuring someone. And you could say the pressuring of doing stuff comes from the Christian church. They would pressure you to do certain things, and it's like, I ain't gonna feel no pressure. It's like when they pressure you to give money in the church. Oh, pay your tithe, give an offering, do this, do that. Come on, man. The scripture says a person's supposed to be a cheerful giver, not given grudgingly or out of necessity, but they should be a cheerful giver, given from the heart, you know what I mean? if you can't give from the heart, then it didn't come from the heart. It means that you did it out of compulsion. Somebody pressured you to do it. That's not good. You know? I was telling him about the situation moving down to New York, how New York is full of crime. I was telling him a lot of things, bro. You know, it's crazy, man. But one thing, anybody that interact with me, the way you see me in the streets, the same way I am online. I ain't fake, bro. I ain't fake. Everything I'm telling you right now, that brother could tell you that's exactly what I said. Because, you know, like when you're in the truth, everybody be like, yo, you keep the commandments? And everybody be like, yeah, I keep the commandments. Well, do you do this? Well, nah, I don't do that. Well, I thought you said you keep the commandments. Well, I'm not going to get into no debate. I just finished telling you I don't. Like, what more you want me to do? I don't owe anything to you. It's between me and the Most High. That's how I feel about the situation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, if anything, the only thing that's important is just to encourage a brother or a sister in why they should do something, or what are the benefits, how to do this, how to do that. But if you apply pressure, then you're gonna lose that particular brother or sister, because they're gonna be like, it's like you're trying to beat me into doing something, or make me feel guilty into doing something. I already know what I'm supposed to do, but at the same time, I don't got that kind of time. And I was explaining that to the brother. I was explaining to him, I was like, bro, I don't got no time, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck. Now, some people might be like, no time? What are you talking about, no time? And I think he said, if you wanted to really do something, you'll make time. And that's true, but at the same time, if it was really fully true, I would have everything that I need to do done already. So it's partially true, because there's a lot of things that I want to do that I haven't even done yet because of the time. You know what I'm saying? Time is crazy right now. Time flies by. There's a lot of things I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't got the time to do it. And that's not an excuse. It's just a reality. When you go to work, when you got a family, when you got bills, and when you really dealing with life in itself, you could quote scriptures all day. I'm not listening, because at the end of the day, it's like you got all these different responsibilities you got to do. You got kids, you got bills, you got to deal with any sort of, I guess, friendships and different things, family drama, other drama. There's so many different things you got to do. And it just overwhelms you, man, completely. And I was explaining this to the brother. I was explaining everything to him. It was sort of like a counseling session. Not really a counseling session. I'm not saying it was like therapy or anything. It was just an interaction between another brother in real time. And it was needed. It was needed because, again, I don't know what camp he from or whatever, but if anything, it gives him an opportunity to be an example, because he had the opportunity to have a conversation with me. So when he really understood who he was talking to, and go back to his own world and be like, damn, I was talking to that dude right there. That's crazy. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how the Most High works. And it's for a reason, because he could be tested too. He could be tested to see, is he going to run to a camp and say, well, yo, I was talking to so and so and so. Yeah, he lived at so and so and so. Boom, boom, boom. Or is he going to show respect? So it's all one big test to see how Hebrew Israelites move. It all goes back to the test, man. Just like I said, because of the trust, because of the character of men. So even though we had that conversation, it was in the real world. So he's being tested too. Everybody's being tested. But it was a good conversation. It's a good conversation. You know, there's a lot of things I was talking about that I had to like kind of explain again. Maybe it was confusing. It's nothing really to be confused about. It's just that I prefer to be solo. I prefer to move the way I move, you know, because I don't got no time for no drama. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they be on a different frequency, and I'm not trying to be a part of that mess, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, it was a good interaction, because what it did, it allowed him to hear me out, and I was hearing him out. And it's your choice, man. I mean, if you're the type of person that you in the truth and you feel it's beneficial to you to, I guess, be a part of a camp, then that's your prerogative, dog. But for me, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? If you're happy with doing that, then it is what it is. You do you. I'm not ever doing that. You won't find me doing that type of stuff. But if that works for you and yours, then hey, it is what it is, bro. I just don't feel necessary to do that type of stuff. I don't want no parts of that. You know? So it's sort of like the Most High does things on purpose just to kind of see what you're gonna say. It's just like sometimes the Most High would throw a Hebrew Israelite in my path just so that I could start up a conversation, so that they could go back, so they could tell people, am I real or am I fake? Nobody could tell me that I'm fake if they interacted with me. Nobody. Because if you interacted with me in the real world, I'm 100% real. The same way I am in the YouTube, same way I am in the streets, same way. No need to sugarcoat and be fake. I'm not fake at all, bro. I tell people straight what it is. He even asked me about the dietary laws. I was like, oh, that's easy, bro. I follow that with simplicity. That's the easiest thing ever, bro. But what's crazy is the dietary laws is not as simple for other people. For other people, it's a major struggle. They be eating their bacon, their ham sandwiches, pork chops, you know what I'm saying, shrimps, all that other mess. They eat that stuff every damn day. I don't touch that mess. I never liked shrimp, you know what I'm saying, even though it can smell good, but I never liked that mess. Never was a shrimp eater. Never ate crab, never ate lobster. Only thing I ate back in the day was bacon and ham sandwiches. But I stopped eating all that mess once I got into the truth. And the thing is, it happened before I got into the truth. I was telling that brother that. I was telling that brother before I got in the truth. I lost all desire for ham sandwiches and bacon. I used to eat a pack of bacon every day. No cap. I used to eat a pack of bacon every day. And I stopped eating that mess. And that's before I got in the truth. So you tell me, was the Most High showing me what to do? Was he teaching me? Was he preparing me? Because I lost the whole taste for that garbage. I just didn't want to see that stuff. I'm talking about literally a pack of bacon every day. And I stopped eating it. So it is what it is, man. It's crazy how small this world is, man. How you could be doing one thing and then link up with people and have conversations. Because he was asking me, he was like, well, did you ever speak to any of these leaders? No, I never spoke to none of these camp leaders. There's no need to. You know what I mean? I could speak to them via social media, but he was more concerned with speaking to them in the real world. There's no need to. It's like, if we got cell phones, right? This is not a cell phone, it's an iPod. But my point is, we have cell phones, we can call people, right? Okay. If we have social media, we could communicate via social media. Same thing. You know? But my issue is not with a camp leader, even though there are camp leaders I disagree with. What this is about is people, our people as a whole. We don't show love towards one another. We just don't. And that's not a good look, man. It's not. When you got Israelites fighting on social media going crazy, it's not cool. It makes all of us look bad. That's why I don't want no parts of the name calling myself that, because why? It's associated with a lot of trauma, a lot of bad spirits, negativity, cult-like behavior. It's just everything negative, man. Can't deal with that. It was pouring earlier, man. Some good rain came down. Much needed rain too. I was happy about that. Well, all in all, man, it's a good day. Very good day. But yeah, man, we gotta really improve the image of our people, because the image of the Israelites on social media is bad, because we don't practice love. We don't demonstrate practicing the scriptures towards one another, especially when there's adversity or any sort of issue. It's like we don't understand or have any conflict resolution skills. We don't know how to fellowship. We don't know how to have disagreements without becoming hostile and combative. So it's just really, it's a lot of work that needs to be done. You know? So guys, we're gonna get up on out of here and do what we need to do. And we'll have more content later on. I don't even know if the volume is good, because normally I have that piece on me. Yeah, so I'm gonna sign out. You have a blessed one. Follow the Most High. Keep His commandments to the best of your abilities. That's what I always tell people. I don't tell them, oh, when you get in the truth, you got to obey 1,000 commandments. Nobody's doing that overnight. Nobody. Everybody got something that they got to fix. That's why I'm always keeping it real with the people, because my character says always to speak the truth. No need to lie. It's better to tell the truth than to lie. You know? When asked questions, I could have been like, yeah, I keep all the feast days. Yeah, I keep that. Yeah, I wear my fringes. And I could have lied. But there's no profit in that. Right? So, always be truthful. It's the best way to go, guys. So we're going to get up on out of here, man. I had a conversation with a Hebrew Israelite. And there's a lot that I learned from the conversation. Hopefully there's a lot the brother learned. Hopefully he's able to understand where I'm coming from. I have a lot of criticism for the Israelite community. At the same time, my criticism doesn't apply to everybody. Because if somebody's on the right path and they're keeping the commandments and treating people right, then I can't really judge them. You know, so I guess if it don't apply, let it fly. One of them type of situations. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. Y'all take care. Rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. Peace. We out of here. Rate, comment, and subscribe.